Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Kicking Back podcast. I am joined here today with the delightful Sean Rogan. Hello, mate.
Hello, Bradley.
How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. This is a dream.
A dream come true.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to having you on for quite some time, Sean.
Thank you, Bradley.
And of course, we have the usual suspects at the back. Matthew Campbell.
Hello. Hello, Bradley.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited to have Sean here. We've not seen him for, well, we just talked about a long time.
Yeah.
Nearly a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My birthday last year, and it's nearly my birthday, so there you go.
So me and Sean, before this pandemic, we were just saying, like, last time we saw each other, we had a plan. We were going to go for a coffee, and we decided, like, let's just leave it a couple of weeks and get this, like, COVID thing sorted. And then
I'm sure it'll blow over.
Yeah, it's out of the way.
And, yeah, now we're here.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Crazy time.
So, Sean, for the people who are watching at home and the people that are listening in the future or watching on YouTube, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Sean, give people a little sum up of who you are, what it is you do, and why the hell you're here, my friend.
Why am I here? My name is Sean Rogan. Probably says it below anyway. But, you know, I'm a musician. I write songs, and I'm in a band called Diving Station and a band called MYTBE, and I release stuff under my own name as well. Yeah, that's what I spend pretty much all of my time doing, and have done for a very long time. I studied music here in Manchester with you lovely people.
Yeah.
Since then I've just been doing that.
Nice, man.
The past year has been 100% that, obviously.
So, you have just released your EP, To Speak,
Yeah, man.
which I had to listen to today and yesterday.
Whoa.
Delightful.
Twice.
Very nice, man.
It's a beautiful song.
Do you want to tell us a bit about, what's the story of this EP? You know,
Yeah.
what's going on?
You know, I started writing songs when I was like maybe 14. I don't know. I'm just making up a number. When I was a teenager. A long time ago. And then I went to uni and found loads of other musicians that do that too. And I basically stopped writing songs altogether and did the band thing instead. And I mean, I was in bands before uni, but we started Diving Station in Freshers pretty much, and I kind of just did that, and I got really into guitar, and I got really into practicing guitar, and I got really into jazz, and just did that, and just kind of left the songwriting thing behind for a bit, which was fine. And then, I don't know, I came out of uni and just, I think I realised that what I was listening to and what I was creating wasn't necessarily adding up in a way that pleased me. So I just kind of started kind of playing around with that idea again. I mean, yeah, here we are like 2 years later, and it's kind of happened. I mean, it's funny, I was kind of psyched the first time where I properly decided that I was gonna like do the recording my own songs thing again. Is I live with 3 other musicians, and all 3 of them went to India to do a gig without me. It's really far away, and that house is so busy all the time because we have like rehearsals there and we do recording there, and I don't think I've ever spent more than 2 nights alone in that house until lockdown, to be fair. But at that point, it'd never happen. And then suddenly they were all in India. And I was like, I don't know what to do. So I obviously just filled my time by trying to be productive because I was scared of being alone. And I was like, maybe now's a good time to do the songwriting thing that no one knows about. So I'll do that. Because like singing when people can hear you, it's kind of weird. If you sing to someone as a performance, then it's not weird. And if you sing by yourself, it's not weird. But if you sing and someone's in the next room, then it's really weird for some reason. And I just find that really like, it made me kind of weirdly like anxious, I guess, to the fact that people could hear that and like they could hear me like trying to write songs. And obviously there's a lot of trial and error in that process. And you come out with a lot of trash. So maybe that was an excuse for a while, but I don't know. I was like, you know what, I've got 2-3 nights by myself. Let's do this. So I made some like little demos in that time, I kind of vowed to never send anyone those demos because they're pretty shocking. But that was kind of the start of it. And then I didn't have a lot of time at that point. I was like gigging a lot, which is also just really tiring. And I don't know, I don't think I really got into the swing of it until lockdown, basically.
Right.
I did a gig with the lovely people that have agreed to play my music, which is James Davis, Chris Rabbits, Ollie Cox and Phoebe Taylor. They're all great. I owe them a lot. And we did a gig at the Castle Hotel last summer.
We
the
were
summer
there.
before that one.
Yeah.
We were there, man.
We were there.
Yeah.
The last real summer where we could go outside. Yeah. And that was kind of the grand opening. And that was kind of, the songs that I'd kind of been demoing over the past year, but I was still definitely finding my feet. And then we had like rehearsals for that, and then we didn't really play again for ages just because other stuff was happening and whatever. And then lockdown, I just got well into it, and it was much more of a lonely venture, obviously, this time around. But through remote recording and that kind of thing, we got it done. I got the wonderful Carl Ziegler to mix it and do some production-y bits, and and then it took me a really, really long time to release it because I get really into the creative bit, and then as soon as it turns into not that, I kind of switch off a bit, I think. But
Yeah, I'm the exact same. I think, and you can relate to that as well. Like anything that's not the creative thing, I'd rather sit there like dicking around with stuff endlessly than actually have to like like accept that bit's over and get on with.
Yeah,
because it all just seems so boring in comparison.
It is,
doesn't it? Not to some people. But,
yeah, it's especially when you've been listening to the material for so long as well, and then it gets to it's time to mix it and things, and then you're like, it's so hard to come out with a fresh perspective.
Yeah, and to commit to it and be like, this is what it is.
That's it. Yeah,
and I'm prepared to tell you that that's what it is.
Exactly. Yeah, because you can forever be tweaking, man,
Absolutely.
until the cows come home. But someone's got to put them cows
away.
Put away your cows and show us your music. God damn it. The EP sounds awesome, man.
Thank you.
I was gonna say I was very impressed, but I expected it to be good anyway. So
maybe you were disappointed.
No, it was a very nice listening experience. So you did. So how much of it did you record yourself?
So that EP, there was like some remote stuff. So like Ollie Cox did the drums. I think there's only one song with drums in. Is that true? Yeah, there is. We did that over Zoom. That's one of the only pictures I took of us recording that EP is some crappy Zoom screenshot back when that was a thing. And James Davis did all the like synths and piano-y stuff on it, which is great. I did pretty much all the guitar, and my friend Louis Campbell. I don't know if you guys know him, but
I don't know. I know kind of him, but
does he play in that quite like?
Yeah, he does.
I've met Louis once. Yeah, he's a nice guy.
He's great.
Yeah,
he's So I've been like recording more music since that EP, like in the past few months and stuff. But I think I find it quite hard to like be in both the writing producer headspace and the like recording guitarist headspace at the same time. And he's just been my like guy. I don't know what to say. Like he's so good at guitar, man. Like I don't know, puts me to shame. Can't hate him for it. But so he did some extra stuff. He plays banjo and like does like classical guitar and like.
Right. Okay.
I thought the banjo was you.
Yeah.
I was like,
no way.
I was like,
no way.
Sneaking up. But then I wasn't surprised, man. I was like, of course.
Sure.
Of course, Sean plays banjo.
Bastard.
No, I wish I did. I don't even have one. They're cool. I tried to play Louis once. That was the only recording for the EP that I did, or one of the only recordings I did in person for that EP was like literally the weekend before lockdown. Louis came around and we did some banjo.
Nice.
Weird. But he did that basically, and some like of the acoustic guitar stuff. I don't really have an acoustic guitar that is worth recording, so I either borrow my housemates, or if he's not around, then I ask Louis to do. And then Izzy Baker did all the strings on it.
Nice.
She's great.
She's great, man.
I mean, yeah, I literally just give her a project and she just does stuff, and it's always great. Yeah, she's great at just like, I guess, improvising and just layering stuff, and it works.
Yeah.
And then Phoebe did some vocals as well from home. I feel like I'm gonna forget someone, and it's really stressing me out because they're gonna be like at home, like. When I did the RecRooms thing with you guys, right? We did an interview, and James was staying at my house at that point. James Davis, who did the performance, and I didn't mention him in the whole interview because I was really nervous about the interview, right?
I remember that. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, I just didn't want to say anything stupid, so I was like, just concentrating on the facts. And yeah. And he was quite upset about it.
Oh.
It was kind of like that fake, like, you won't talk to you for an hour kind of thing.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Fake.
Yeah, well, yeah, mate. It's like you pretend it, but then you mean it, but then you can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did he bring it up, or did you realise?
No, he brought it up.
Straight away. Just finish the chorus. Like.
I deserved it. Yeah, whatever. Anyway,
Man.
I appreciate you, James. For what you do. What was the question?
I was just asking like what you'd recorded and stuff like that. But yeah, you seem to have.
Yeah,
you
it was kind of
well,
it was very collaborative. I think it was more collaborative than maybe it felt, just because it was so like pieced together and like done in bedrooms and stuff. But I guess it was quite collaborative.
In terms of like ideas and stuff, are you sort of pretty chilled and like, I want some banjo, lay down some sweet banjo, or you're like, this is kind of what I want, you know?
I think it kind of depends. I think I'm always careful to ask people that I would want their thing.
Yeah.
I find often, like myself as a guitarist as well, I often get like involved in projects or something where they want guitar, but not really necessarily they don't want me.
Right, yeah. I know.
And I'm very wary of not putting people in that position, because it's a weird position to be in, because it's like you're flattered, but you also know that you're probably not going to do a very good job. So I think, I try and be a bit, I don't know, they'd maybe say different things. I think I can get quite obsessed. Once I get an idea of what I think it should be, then I think I can be pretty like annoying about it. But I'm sure Izzy with the strings will tell you that I think I like the idea of saying like, you do your thing and it's fine, and then I probably ask way too much for her after that, but I don't know. I don't know if that answered your question. I don't know.
Yeah, that was good, man. So in terms of influences on the sound of this particular recordings, is there anyone you would say you'd referenced or pulled from?
Absolutely. I made a reference playlist on Spotify for this very reason. Because so Carl Ziegler mixed it as well, and we had a lot of Zoom stuff, and like trading Spotify playlists and that kind of thing. There was a few like tracks in particular that we're concentrating on. So like, do you guys know this guy Christian Lee Hudson?
No.
He's like, I kind of find for myself to be like, I feel really similar to him, even though he doesn't know me. I feel like we know each other, even though he's like way older. He lives in LA. He doesn't care who I am, but I feel like, I don't know what I'm saying. I think he's great. But he plays guitar and has played guitar for loads of bands, and he plays for Better Oblivion Community Centre, which is Phoebe Bridgers and Conor Oberst's thing. And I don't know, he's just an amazing guitarist. And recently he's like come out with his like debut album, and it seems like, I don't really know. He's released like scraps of like EPs and stuff in the past, but it seems like this has been like the launch of like, I know what this is now, and this is the thing.
Right.
But anyway, he's got this track called Northsiders, which was the only single that came out way before the album. That has been out for like a year or so. And it's very like Elliott Smithy, and like, I guess it's like if Elliott Smith was recording albums now with like the gear that we have and the producers that we have, like double track guitar and double track vocals, and just like warm and haunting at the same time. And the first single that I released, Speak, I was just like probably annoyingly so, referencing that tune, and that like every time Carl would send me a mix, I'd just be like, yeah, it doesn't sound like Northsiders.
Why does it not sound like this?
And actually, so Hugo Meredith Hardy, who produces Diving Station, he did a bit of mixing on this one song as well, and had the same conversation back and forth. And it's like, it doesn't sound like that song. And he's like, maybe it's because you don't sound like this. No, you're wrong. It's your fault.
Liar.
Anyway, once that song came out, one of my friends messaged me saying that it reminded them of that song, and I was like, yes, win. So everyone else was wrong. But anyway, I think that was a big reference for me because it's someone that, like, guitar is still a huge part of what he does, but they're very much like songwritery songs, and I think I was aware of like playing to my strengths in a way and not just scrapping the guitar, because I was like, I'm a songwriter now and I don't want to like the guitar is what I spent most of my time doing for the past 6 years. I didn't want to just like throw that away. So I think that was a thing for like the acoustic side of things. And then Bon Iver all the time.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
I heard that
mean,
one. As soon as I put that, yeah.
Shameless. Just take it straight off there.
You got there first. You got there first. Son of a...
Actually, I've not like posted it yet, but I made a references playlist to like post. You know, everyone's making Spotify playlists now.
Yeah.
To like, it's just a scam to get people to follow you on Spotify, right? But I was very careful to like pick the songs that influenced me, but not the ones that I stole. Otherwise, it just gives away my secrets.
Yeah.
But screw it, that's fine. Really.
Yeah.
But 20 to a Million
Yeah.
is just, I don't know. I could talk about that album the whole podcast, but let's do it. I love that so much, and I think when I heard that album, it was just I'd never heard anything like it before.
Yeah.
Maybe even now, like, I don't know. Every time I listen to it, there's something new that still amazes me. And it's not just like, oh, that's cool. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. I'd put on all of his albums. I just relentlessly put on all the time. I listened to that one like 2 days ago, just playing some Mario Kart. Put that on, and it's like every tune. Seriously,
what side?
Matt, the serious musician.
That is Mario Kart.
Stick it on the Mario Kart.
I wasn't on my own. It was a little bit.
That's all right.
I don't know whether that changes things or not. But yeah, just every track, man. It's a blend of songwriting, and it's the same thing that like you're going for, that blend of songwriting and just like soundscape thing. It's just beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
guy's master. Yeah. Any particular tunes on that album?
Or do you not want to tell us?
No, I do. There's a song that I always get the name wrong. It's either called Stratford or Strafford.
Yeah.
Apartments.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful song.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That was another big reference for just like, I guess, I don't know, I used it for a reference all the time, and like the stuff that I've been working on now, I use it as well. Just that song, I think the vocals in that song are so amazing because there's kind of no lead singer, and also you can hear it's Justin the whole time in a weird like they do this weird like pitched up vocal thing, and it's just there's so many layers, and they just kind of bringing them in and out all the time that you never really settle on like a sound, but the song's that's quite short, and I don't know, it's just it's so clever. I've still not even figured out like what's really going on, but there's a song called Adriana on my EP where I was like really meticulous with the vocal layering. So I think there's like, I don't even know, there's probably like at least 3 or 4 tracks of my like lead vocal, and then like probably a double track of Phoebe's vocal as well, and they're pretty much all just doubling each other the whole time in octaves. But I really wanted that idea of it just kind of feeling kind of effortlessly like mixing between the two, and it never really settling on like maybe it's like a shyness thing as well, as I didn't really want it to be like, hey, I'm a lead singer now.
Right.
And I just thought that that was a reference for that anyway, just because I thought those layers were really cool. More references. I don't know, there's loads.
Just pick one, man. I mean, go for ones that we probably haven't heard of, because I always say this, like, it's good to hear artists that I've never even heard of. I always go back and listen to these and be like, oh, they said that, and pick them up. So
it's really the thing that with the like, I guess lyrically, or like the theme of the whole thing. Basically, do you know the band Manchester Orchestra?
No.
Well, Matt wins.
You win this one, Matthew.
They're an American band. This is the wrong Manchester, but whatever.
Right. Okay.
And from what I can gather, it's like there's a songwriter called Andy. I don't know his second name, but it doesn't matter. He won't be listening. He won't care. And it's kind of like, it's basically like a rock band. Like they almost sound like Biffy Clyro or something, but the songwriting's so like beautiful, and there's a lot of acoustic versions of his songs, basically, of just him like doing it himself, and they're all equally beautiful. Andy Hull.
Is it Andy Hull?
Yeah.
Hull or Hull? I can't tell because of your Scottish accent, James.
It just sounds the same.
With an A or a U?
Hull.
Did anyone?
I think it's a U, like the place. Yeah.
Andy Hull.
Yeah.
And he's the main dude, is it?
Yes.
Right. Cool.
And what was I saying? Sorry. There's a song that a Manchester Orchestra song, which there's an acoustic version as well, which I actually heard first, called "I Know How to Speak." I think it's called that. And it was like, I'd written the song "Speak," which was the first single and kind of where the title of the EP came from, before I'd heard that song. And then I heard that song and I was like, it felt like the answer, or like I'd answered that song in a weird way. I don't know. I had this weird moment where I was like, he just said what I've been trying to like say with a whole EP in like 2 minutes, so much better than I did. And it was so weird to discover that. And then that kind of like, I think I discovered that within the process of writing the EP, and then I kind of doubled back on myself and was like, maybe that's a cool thing that I can focus on. And that's kind of where the title came from, of this, like, I guess being involved in bands and being like the guitarist for a while, then suddenly finding like, maybe I can say my own thing. Which is kind of where the title came from. But anyway, that song is absolutely beautiful, and I think, like, I guess the lyrics, I don't really know, I've not spoken to him, but it kind of seems to share a similar thing of like figuring out how to say whatever you mean. So that was a big influence in a backwards way. The influence that I didn't know about. I kind of think, because I used to listen to that band a lot, so maybe I had heard it and I'd forgotten it.
That like message.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It'll be a good story if it had.
Let's go with that one.
Yeah.
That's like a press story.
Yeah.
When you started writing the song "Speak," I was listening to it last night, like really early this morning, at like 4 a.m. or something. Just all right.
You okay?
And yeah, I was wondering about the lyrics, like what started you writing that, like especially the first verse.
Sure.
Where did that
I'm
come from?
trying to think about the first verse of that song. I've played that song in so long. I think it's all about, like, I've always been really crap at speaking about my feelings and things, especially to like my friends. It's basically just about that, really. And that kind of ties in with it launching my solo project and launching the EP, which is called that, and the kind of double meaning, I guess, in a way of like, hey, here's me, and also like, I could speak about my feelings now, maybe. I'm trying. So yeah, I guess that.
Yeah,
really.
okay. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And when, especially like if you're a lead guitarist and stuff, and you spend so much of your time just trying to communicate with people through note choice.
Yeah, right.
Which is
no one cares about my notes.
No, people love your note choice, guys. But but after a while it starts to feel like, and the same like listening to other guitarists. Sometimes you just want a voice to come in and just give you like, I don't know. But obviously on the flip side, it's nice to take your own meaning. But just the place where I'm at now, I really like just having a subject or like a story in particular to follow throughout a song.
Sure.
It just So I definitely feel you on having that change of heart. Was it when you started writing? I'm just kind of picturing like everyone's gone off to India and you're just like sort of like grab the acoustic guitar. He's like, yeah, exactly. Just starts drumming like. Was it quite like an organic thing, or was it like you made that choice?
I think it kind of was a choice.
Mm.
I think I was so used to not doing it and so used to just playing guitar that I think I had to make a choice of being like, maybe I should try this thing now.
Mm.
It kind of started as more of that was a laptop, more of like a Ableton thing. Because you type all day whilst you're on Logic. It started as like more of a laptopy production-y thing.
Mm.
I think a lot of it also probably stemmed in that I was getting very tired of playing the guitar all the time. And I'd recently got really into Ableton. So it kind of started in that way, in like recording like just crappy keyboard sounds or like whatever I could find. So it wasn't really the like pick up a guitar and write an acoustic thing, which it kind of is now. I've kind of gone back to that because I find that I lose motivation very quickly when I'm staring at a screen the whole time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I needed to put the guitar away for a bit to discover that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely.
I was going to ask you about your approach to lyric writing, in terms of whether you do it. Ask this to everyone. Do you do it phonetically? Do you do it? Do you write the lyrics before you do the music? Or is it different for everyone?
I don't know. It's funny. I've been thinking about this, like especially in preparation for this podcast. I feel like, the way you're going to ask me these kind of questions, they're really hard to answer. With writing, I feel when it's going well, you don't really know what's going on. And I feel like the times where I think like this is my process and this is how I'm doing it are the times where I'm not really having a very good time. Well, not doing a very good job of it because I'm so aware of, like, if I'm not really feeling that inspired, but I feel like I should write, I'm like, cool, I'll do that. I'll write a guitar thing and then I'll write some lyrics to it. And then it doesn't really go very well. And then when there's sudden burst of like, I need to write a song now, happens, I don't even really remember what happens. It all happens at exactly the same time in a weird like burst of energy, and then it disappears again, and you're like, whoa, I made that thing. Which is a kind of a non-answer to your question, really. But but then I guess with lyrics, obviously, so maybe that burst of energy comes in and I write like a verse or even just like a guitar thing or whatever, and I kind of mumble some things and a few words maybe that I know the song is going to be about or whatever. And then I'll definitely go back and finish off lyrics. So I guess it's kind of like maybe something starts it off, then I like kind of expand that out with arrangement and guitars and whatever, and then I go back and finish the lyric-y bit. I find that's, for me, that's the hardest bit. Maybe it's just because that's the thing that I've done the least, but it's really long. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's not always fun. Like, playing guitar is fun, but writing lyrics can get your head into some weird spaces sometimes and maybe make you think about things that maybe you should think about, but you don't want to or don't need to or whatever. I don't know. But so sometimes you get yourself into a bit of a hole, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Does that answer the question?
I think it does.
Yeah. I think I'm also still figuring it out, and I think maybe that's why.
I see.
It's different for every not project, but every creation. I guess that moment of inspiration. Do you have and this is probably a crazy question. Do you have a process of being able to evoke that space of inspiration, or does it just come out of the blue?
I feel like I've been trying to answer that question for the past year in my own head. The answer is no. But I really like it if I could, and I'm getting there. Because I know that, I don't know, there's people that write songs for a living, right? It can be done. And I'm definitely, I get into that headspace more frequently now than I did. I think there's like a weird like mythological thing about it where people like to think that it's just this magical thing that happens and then you can't plan it and you can't practice it and you never get better at it, or you don't like it, just you've either got it or you don't. And I used to like do it very naturally when I was a teenager, and then maybe through kind of being at music college or whatever, I don't know, I just kind of lost that thing. And I think it took some effort to get that back.
Yeah.
In like a, yeah, it's kind of backwards, I guess. But I think I'm getting better at it. Like, it takes a while. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
You got to like write a lot of shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And it's quite difficult to like. I think a lot of it is seeing it through and finishing stuff. I had so many bits of songs that I never finished because that's the hard bit, right? You've done the like fun hour of like, oh, I'm really inspired, I'm gonna do it, and then it's like it's not really a song yet, and then you have to finish it, and then that's the like laborious bit. I think finishing it is really important because then you can move on and just be like, it's done. And so yeah, I think my point was, the more you do it, the more it'll happen.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And even like the fact that I didn't do that throughout the whole university and then I started doing it and now I do it more kind of proves that, I guess.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's interesting you saying about having it in your teens and then not having it in college, because I had the exact same thing, man.
Same, man.
I was so creative.
College.
I was so creative when I was like a teenager. I don't know if it's because I was so bloody angsty or whatever, but like I'd just like crank out songs like nobody's business, and then something happened.
I know what happened, Brad.
Yeah.
What happened? Sean?
Went to music college.
People judged you on everything.
People judged me, and and it ruined the love of music. But yeah, and I know what you mean. I'm definitely finding more creativity in the thoughtlessness and not being like a thoughtless bastard, but spacious,
selfish. Right?
Yes, being a selfish prick.
Horrible songs.
That works, man.
But I've definitely found that being in a more mindful state of mind helps me to be more creative. Sure. Because you sort of clear out the clutter and you leave space for something to come out of something, wherever that thing is.
And you know what, like, in a way, lockdown's been amazing for that and terrible for that, in that I'm definitely run out of juice now because nothing's happened to me in the past year, right? I've backtracked through all the happenings of the past 10 years. I'm done. New thing. But having that headspace was everything for that time, and that I think that's the only way that I was able to do it, and I'll definitely gonna need to figure that out once things start to get busy again, because I'm a little bit wary of like that and me leaving that behind, because I get busy again and I don't want that to happen. But I think the main thing is just showing up every day and trying, or like every other day or whatever, and if nothing happens, and not beating yourself about it if nothing happens, because I think I can be quite guilty of like forcing myself to do things out of wanting to be productive all the time. And if you do that and you don't get anything, then that is fine. But my go-to move there is just to carry on, because I don't like giving up on things. And I think I need to learn to give up.
And that's the thing. It's kind of like
give up.
Please give up, man. We've all been saying it for years.
Behind your back. Sean, give up, man.
You decided to tell me live.
Too bad. I also think, like, if we thought it, we wouldn't say it because it wouldn't be a very good joke. There's some safety in it.
Yeah, because the truth hurts.
Great. Love you guys.
So it's nice to see you, team. No, but on a serious note, it's like that's the thing. It's like when nothing happens and you just show up anyway. That's gonna be part of it for everyone. There's not like a songwriter or a musician who hasn't had that happen quite a lot as well. Like it's not gonna be, so the next time that happens, it's not gonna be the last time either. So I think part of it is outwardly thinking, actually this is like part of the process. Sure. And you'd be pretty crazy if every time you wanted something to happen, it was like, there it is.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
I mean, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. It would be cool, but it's unless you like, I don't know, maybe Sting has. I can say something else about that, but
He's got some pretty crappy albums, man.
Yeah. Everyone's got, like, you know, you got to produce a few turd sandwiches, haven't you, man? It's just, it's the way it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's the balance, man. The
I
balance.
think I'm learning to find joy in writing rubbish songs.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you decide that you don't care about it anymore, but you think you should finish it out of, like, something will come out of it, it's kind of fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it's really funny.
As
Even if it's only to yourself, like,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
a cheap laugh.
So, yeah, literally. You know, we got to take everything we can right now.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Sean, for people that are still listening, like they got bored and they left.
Jeez.
No, for people that are watching live, and they want to just check out where your things are online, where can they find them? And if you look into camera 2 over there,
Yes. George pointed at the
George
different
pointed
camera.
George pointed at the wrong camera, but
One job.
one job pointed at the wrong. We've only got 2
Oh,
cameras,
crap.
George.
What am I doing?
Uh,
Sorry.
So
Hi.
tell people where they can find your
Yep.
stuff online.
All my music is on Spotify and Bandcamp. Under my own name, Sean Rogan, or Diving Station, or MYTBE. I'm involved in these things. But if you want the most me, Sean Rogan. On the social media as well. I lied yesterday and I said it was all on the Sean Rogan music and I was wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, people are going to get real mixed messages now, Sean.
Yeah, but you know what? You'll probably
That's-
just go onto the RecRooms page and there'll be a link anyway.
You'll
It'll be
find
fine. But my Instagram name is Sean_Rogan_. There's an underscore after it. I don't like it.
Is that
It's weird.
out of choice or
No.
your handles?
I think there was
forced?
another Sean Rogan and there was a Sean_Rogan. God damn.
You can't have it all, man.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
know, right?
have it all. To answer, we had a question before
Oh boy.
from my mother.
Your mother?
My mother. Mum, I'm not getting rid of my mustache anytime soon. There we go. I've answered that question. Apparently,
Does she want you to get rid
I
of
didn't
it?
realise she had something against my mustache.
Sounds like she does.
It sounds like she does.
I don't know what she's thinking, man. It suits you.
I thought you said I don't know what you.
I don't know what
is
you're
he going to say? I don't know what you're thinking about that.
No,
That stupid mustache.
You've had it too long now, and now when you see pictures of Brad from a while ago, it doesn't really look like Brad.
It's
I
missing
don't know.
something.
Yeah, there's something missing.
I think it looks great.
Thanks, Sean.
We did. I don't know when that was. The last year has been a time hole, but
Mm.
we recorded in a church with Ben Fenner,
That one. Yeah.
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 and that was the first time I'd seen you in ages.
Yeah.
And we all did the same. We spent all day together, and then we all got in the car on the way home. And we just went, "Did you see Brad's mustache?" I'm like, yeah, and it's like, it's really good, isn't it? Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, that's great,
There you
man.
go.
That is one thing I like about wearing the mask is the people they always ask me if I've still got it, and I'll just
You've got
like
a
keep it.
secret.
Yeah, it's just a little. Yeah, it's a little talking point, isn't it?
It is, man.
I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. To be honest, I'm happy with it.
How often do you shave it?
I trim it like every day
Oh, wow.
because
No way.
it's, you know, as soon as it gets like past the lip, it's
I
when
don't know. I can't grow a
well.
mustache. Let's be real.
it gets past, you know, as soon as it gets into the lip area, you start chewing on it. It's not nice, man. It's not pleasant, and then you look like a moron as well. So it's, you know, but yeah, every day. Yeah,
Cool.
But I had a mustache a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
No.
No, this morning I had one.
Oh,
Whoa.
well,
I've had a lot of different looks over that time, man. I was
Cool.
basically like, I'm living with these guys, and I've known them for a long time now. They
Anything
don't care,
goes.
but I can give them a really cheap laugh if I come downstairs one day with like a crazy goatee, just sort of like, and then I've had like mutton chops.
Great
It's
work.
just like, if I know I'm not leaving the house for a while,
yeah.
or if I'm not seeing anyone that cares, which is, you know.
Have you done any lockdown haircuts?
I haven't. There's a good reason that Brad is. Well, we're lucky he's wearing headphones at the moment.
Yeah.
'cause
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
showed me.
I'm not
forgot.
gonna show the people at home, but
I don't think it's as bad as you think it is.
it's not. But it's like it's pointing up. Should I show it?
Just
I'm not
do
gonna,
it, Brad.
No, go on,
Okay.
do it.
Right, I'll show the people at home on the wide camera.
No one laugh.
So I'm gonna have to take my headphones off. But you can see how there's a pointing arrow going on right here, thanks to George over there for cutting my
Nice
hair.
one, George.
May I say that George's haircut is excellent. I
you
did
do it?
George's, and I have to say
There
I
you
did
go.
a bloody
was
good job
flawless.
of it. I got like the comb and the shaver and did all the the fading and all that sort of stuff.
Whoa.
You know,
Trained
George
for that.
absolutely cocked it up. Well, no, the rest of it's fine. It's just
Listen,
that
I did a
particular-
glorious job. Thank you very much. All right, there was
Well-
just one little mistake.
Pretty key
Granted,
mistake.
glaringly obvious. Now that you pointed it out.
Yeah.
But I was under time pressure as well. You see, because the clippers were definitely running out of battery. So it's like I either give Brad half a haircut, or a very very good haircut.
Couldn't possibly charge the.
Thank you,
clippers.
Sean. We'll just say let's leave it there. We'll charge it, and we'll come back to this and finish this off. No, he did a rush job.
Hey,
Disappointing.
hey,
Do that.
you look at your hair. You look good.
The rest of it's all
You
right.
look great.
Well, apart from I've had to do some
There was a little bit at
adjustments.
the back that I also missed.
Just keep the headphones on forever.
I'm gonna have to now. I was like, oh, it'll be okay, and I was like, oh, this is the side that everyone sees
Sure.
of my face. So I'll just it's fine.
You don't hold grudges anyway.
No,
Doesn't
definitely
sound
not.
like it.
Who's been doing your hair, Sean?
Well, I live with Gareth Jones,
Oh yeah.
very talented keyboard player and producer.
Hairdresser.
Very talented hairdresser. No, the story is to tell you why he's very much not a talented hairdresser.
Oh, no.
Izzy Baker, who did all the strings that I was talking about before, was living with us for a while in lockdown as well. And she cut my hair. And then Gareth swoops in with the clipper. It was basically the same thing. I had very similar look to you for a while. Izzy did a wonderful job. Gaz swoops in with the clippers, goes, nah, you need to use these. Makes it so much worse. It was last summer. I've recovered now. I've had a few haircuts since. But anyway, that was terrible. And then Gareth's mum is a hairdresser, and she does like mobile hairdressing at the moment. And when that was a thing, whenever that was allowed last year at some point, she came around and fixed all of our hair because we all had pretty shocking lockdown haircuts. But she told me that mine was so bad that I'd need at least 3 haircuts until it was recovered back to how I wanted it to be.
No.
I'm on haircut number 2 now, so
That's great, man.
one more to go.
That'd be perfect.
I've never thought about it like that. Like a bad haircut can actually set you back quite a
Yeah,
long
man.
time in terms of. Right.
Unless you just shave it all off and start again. But
Mhm.
Yeah, you hearing that, George? It can
Yeah.
take a long time to recover.
It's a really
these sort of
damaging
things.
thing you did there.
The rest of it's all right, George. I'm over it now. I'm over it. It was 2 days ago. It's
Clearly
fine.
over it.
It's fine. It's cool. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's my little wizard hat. It's to point people to where the top of my head is, in case people didn't know
Oh
where
dear.
that was. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Right, Sean, I'm going to ask you
Uh-oh.
a question.
Mm.
There's 2 versions of this question, okay, and I'll let you pick which version you want to answer. So there's the Ashley Garrett version, or there's the normal version. The Ashley Garrett version is a Desert Island disc, so it can be an album,
Yeah.
but it can be sung by whoever you want. Anyone
That's
at
so
all.
Ashley Garrett. I love
Doesn't have to be a singer either. Can be anyone, just with a nice voice
my
or
God.
whatever. Or you can do your traditional Desert Island discs. What will you take with you?
it. Oh my God. It's a lot of pressure. Let's do Desert Island Discs.
Okay.
Because there's more than I don't want to pick one album.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
How many do I get?
I normally go 5. Is that a lot? I don't know if that's a lot. I think
Not
that's a
enough.
good.
Give
is
me
that-
10.
All right.
No,
so
it's
it is.
not.
Let's go.
I feel like I've thought about this in the past because it's like classic car conversation
Yeah.
on the way to a gig or whatever.
Mhm.
But it's a really hard choice, right? And it's funny because I think there's albums that I definitely listen to a lot that I wouldn't take to me with me on a desert island. If my aim is survival, then listening to Phoebe Bridgers for a week,
Mm.
I'm not going to last
Yeah,
more than
that's
a
gonna last for a
fortnight.
long.
So as much as I love Strangers in the Alps, it's going in the bin
Yeah.
for my
I
own
think
health.
I think you made the right move. Man.
Let's get it out the way. 22 a million
Yep.
straight off the bat.
Mhm.
Nice.
Because that's the right with Bon Iver. I love For Emma dearly. Obviously, that was the first one I heard, and it's beautiful and whatever. But again, survival, no chance.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I want to have a nice time on this island. Am I alone on this island?
Yeah, it's just you
Yeah.
and your 5
Yeah.
or however many albums.
Because I think with 22 a Million, right? I guess it is a kind of a sad album, but you can also listen to it in a non-sad way.
Yeah.
It's like playing Mario Kart, right?
Yeah,
You don't
pumps,
play
doesn't
Mario
it?
Kart and listen to Forever. Maybe you do, I don't know.
Every now and again. That's a different kind of mood there.
Yeah. Sad
Um,
Mario Kart.
And it's kind of, maybe it's more cathartic in a way, because it's kind of angry, that album.
Mm-hmm.
Sort
Yeah.
of shouting, so maybe that'd be
Mm.
nice. So yeah, definitely that. Blonde by Frank Ocean, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That album. I don't know if you guys are
No,
like
no.
into that, but
Mm.
it's amazing. You should
Mhm.
listen to it.
Okay.
We should spend the rest of this podcast just listening to that album and
Is-
streaming it.
Is that the one where he's got green hair on the front?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It came
think
out
so.
like 4 or 5 years ago.
2017.
Yeah, something like that.
maybe? He's got 2 albums. There's Channel Orange, which I
love-
didn't know at the time.
I love that one. I know that.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't.
It's
but
amazing, yeah.
Okay.
Blonde was the second one. I discovered that one first. I was super late to the Frank Ocean. I feel like loads of people think of Frank Ocean as being that like high school thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Especially, I don't know, people like our age that I've spoken to who are big fans are like, yeah, I loved Channel Orange in high school, but I don't know, I wasn't that cool in high school. I listened to the first Ben Howard album all of high
Right,
school.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
Not that Ben Howard's not cool. But so I was quite late to discovering that. So Blonde was the first one I heard. But that album, like, I come back to it so often. And when I first heard it, it totally blew me away. And then I kind of forgot about it for years. And then I kind of got really back into it in lockdown again. I remember I showed my housemate, Reese, and we had like this super nice like bonding sesh where I was just like, have you heard this album? And he's like, no. And then he's just, you know, when you show someone something and you really want them to feel the same way as you do, and
Yeah.
often it's not the case. And then he was just so on board, and I was like, yeah. Great. So we tanned that album a lot last year. But it's also quite a long album, which kind of bodes well if you've only got 5 albums to listen to
Yeah,
for,
that's true.
for the rest of your life. But it's also got like it's really beautiful, and it's got a load of like lovely emotional, you know, double tracked falsetto vocals.
Mm-hmm.
I love, but then it's also like some super boppy tunes, and you could have a lot of fun listening to it as well if you wanted to.
On your own.
Yeah,
Just head bopping
you
around.
got-
Yeah, why not, man?
You got to dance on this island,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
More. Okay, if I'm on an island as well, Blue Hawaii,
Nice.
Elvis Presley,
Beautiful.
good
Okay.
vibes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
see. Yeah.
That was my
Nice.
saviour through some of lockdown last year.
Wicked.
Play it in the morning
Yeah.
whilst I was having breakfast. It brought me
Awesome.
back to another time that I
Yeah.
never lived through.
Yeah.
I could imagine listening to that on the beach
Mm.
on my island.
Beautiful.
I'm claiming this island as like my paradise rather
Mhm.
than my survival.
Your demise.
Yeah, yeah. It's such a feel-good album, and it's just lovely, and it's kind of weirdly Christmassy at the same time, which makes
Mhm.
no sense. So it works for every season. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any like historical attachment to Elvis Presley. It's not like some childhood thing, or like
Mm.
I just think it's lovely.
Yeah, he's awesome.
It makes me feel great.
I've not listened to that album. I don't think I've actually gone through any of his albums except there's this like beastly compilation album. It's like
Sure.
50 tunes
Yeah.
or something. And I remember when we were in Canada, we tanned that all the time,
Oh,
didn't we? And you just get the full progression as well. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just like
yeah.
every era. But yeah. what tunes are on Blue Hawaii?
All the
Is it-
ones that sound like Hawaii. Such as
I don't-
Blue Hawaii. There's
Yeah, I don't
Aloha, Hello.
Okay.
I don't know any of the names. There's Can't Help Feeling in Love, but like the one that sounds Hawaii.
the Hawaiian one.
The Hawaiian version in brackets.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I always listen to it as an album, and it just sounds like Hawaii, doesn't it?
Like-
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Anyway, that would cheer me up every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How many is that? 3.
That's 3, yeah.
Number 4. Original Pirate Material, The Streets. Come on.
No way.
Okay.
That album's hilarious. I mean, it's also like amazing and pretty revolutionary, but it's just so funny. I'm sure it wasn't meant to be funny, but it's funny. it's a lot of fun listening to that album. But it's also great, and like, I don't know, the production on it is so weird and kind of crap, but in a really nice
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I don't know, I have a weird relationship with the Streets. I love that album so much. And then the second one, I don't know if you guys are like into them, but the second one's like even more funny, but it's this like concept album about him losing £1,000, and it's so stupid. You just have to listen to it. It basically starts and it's like, yeah, I've lost £1,000 and my life's rubbish. And then there's a big like ending and he finds it's £1,000.
Wow.
No, no, I don't want to spoil it too much, but
Streets are Dry Rise, Mate. Obviously,
Yeah.
huge banger. Everyone knows
that's
that.
on that album.
Okay.
Okay,
second.
right.
And then what's the Fit But You Know It?
Fit But You Know It,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's on that
Okay.
album too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a few outliers. Probably had to squeeze them in to get the singles.
Sweet.
Yeah, the first album was a lot more like garagey, I guess, and
Okay.
there's like, what's that song called? The song called "Don't Mug Yourself," which is so funny. I should stop saying that's funny. It makes it sound bad, but it's just great. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Sweet.
and then after that second album, it just kind of trails off into just Mike Skinner just being a bit of a weirdo. I don't really know what happened. I don't know whether he started doing drugs or he stopped taking drugs, but something happened and his music got
Something Oh, man.
or he just got old, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just not for me. I shouldn't say that. It's not for me to say. He probably doesn't care that I don't like it.
Yeah. He's probably not watching.
He's
either.
probably not watching. But if you are, I'm really sorry, Mike. Can we collaborate? But yeah, it's just another album that I come back to so often and just have a great. It's good, like you're driving home from somewhere and just have a great time. One left.
One left.
All right, Bright Eyes. I don't know what the album's called. The album's called Lifted, or something about soil and something about the ground. It's a really long album name. Everyone calls it Lifted because that's the first word. It's like Lifted or, and then like almost like an alternate title.
Are we able to pull that up, James? What is it? So the artist, I've never even heard of
Bright
Bright
Eyes.
Eyes.
Yeah.
So the songwriter Conor Oberst, who is in Better Oblivion with Phoebe Bridgers, that was his project basically. He's got like a million projects, but Bright Eyes is so he's released a lot of albums under his own name as well over the years, and he's got like a punky band as well, which I can't remember the name of. But Bright Eyes is like the big boy.
Okay.
There's loads of albums. Started when he was like dead young, and there's like I think there's an album of like everything he did from the age of like 13 to like 17 or whatever, and then he started releasing proper albums, but there's all these like demo-y ones which are just a lot of fun. But there's a very key moment where his voice breaks and everything changes. But he's just a mad like songwriter, like kind of Bob Dylan-esque, of just churns them out, and they're just so, I don't know, it's all about lyrics, and yeah, I don't know, it's great. But his like big album was it's Wide Awake and It's Morning. I'm Wide Awake and It's Morning. That's got a song called First Day of My Life on it, which you'll probably know. It's in loads of like films and stuff. That's like the cutesy acoustic album that everyone loves, and it's great. And then he's got some. So he released that album, and on either like the same day or the same week or something. This is in like 2003, maybe. Maybe I just made that up. I don't know. A while ago. He released another album called Digital Ash and something. They all have really long names. I don't know. And he released like the cutesy folk album, and then a mad like electronic kind of bigger arrangement album of him like shouting rather than like singing cute folk songs. He's just like so prolific, but it's all great.
Okay.
But this album in particular is, I think, just one that I listened to a lot when I was younger, and maybe just taught me a lot about songwriting. And it's very rough around the edges, and like he sounds like tired.
Yeah, he does in a lot of things. From what I've heard. Yeah.
Is
it that album right? So let's go Camera Through.
Yeah, it is.
Through.
Lifted. The story is in the soil. Keep your ear to the ground.
Okay.
It's great.
I like
it's also,
the
again,
"or"
it's
in the
really,
title. That's
What-
great.
Yeah, that's
just
yeah.
like could be called. Who
yeah.
cares?
I think everyone's just called it Lifted.
What's in the drawing in the middle? I can't quite really see. Can we zoom in on that? So the people listening at home, we're just having a look at this. What's the art? It's called Bright Eyes.
Bright Eyes.
There's, oh right. Well, we're just looking at the artwork for that.
Yeah, I've never really thought about what that artwork is. I don't know.
You know, I had that the other day. I was because I've got Fremmer on my as an LP.
Cool.
And I picked it up the other day and actually had a look at it.
Yeah, that artwork. It's
Mm.
beautiful.
And there's so much going on. And I'd never. Do you know what I mean? Because when you think of it, you just kind of get like a
You just
general
get that
image.
texture, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I looked at it, I was like, this is amazing.
Mm.
Same with the Fleet Foxes' first album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah, such a detailed thing.
It's beautiful.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
crazy.
And the inside sleeve of that as well. They talk about like what the album's about and everything. So interesting,
Yeah.
fascinating. That's
And I
one
feel
thing
like-
that's missing with modern day stuff
I know.
is
You're so right.
the physicality and you
Mhm.
don't get all the backstory. I like all the you get like the pictures of the bands and all the
liner
like,
notes.
we're
as
missing
well.
all that
Yeah.
shit.
Just like musings about what's going on in the album. I love all that stuff.
An artwork can be like such a throwaway thing now because it's just a square on Spotify,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's easy to not think about it. But also, a thing that I thought about a lot when I was like, with the bands that I'm in as well, and we've talked about it a lot about artwork. And there's no need to have writing on artwork anymore, right?
Oh my god! Right, okay.
I touched a nerve.
I'm glad you brought this up because the amount of times that back in the day, and fairly recently, like just albums and like people have sent me their artwork and they've got like the track title on it or their name on it. I was like,
Sure.
it doesn't need that on
Yeah.
it, man. It doesn't need that. Like the amount of artwork that you think of the way it's just like a beautiful picture or something. It's just
Yeah,
like-
but I feel like there used to be a good reason for it, right? Because you'd see it in a shop, and you maybe wouldn't know what it is.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
But there's no place now where you're going to see that artwork and it's not going to be written next to it. I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like
that's
it kind of shits all over it, really.
Yeah.
Just
But
like-
then it's funny because like with Diving Station, we've not had. Have we ever had? Maybe we've never had words on it. Maybe the first one does. I can't remember now. But anyway. Oh, do you know what? Some of it does. But anyway, it was a conversation we had. But then for my EP, I thought about it a lot. But then I ended up putting the title of the EP on it, but not my name, because of what I wanted the artwork to look like. But I was very aware of maybe that being a stupid idea. I don't know. Because then you get into fonts, and that's a whole.
That's
Oh
all.
my God.
Yeah. That's a
Suddenly you
nightmare,
think
man.
about it, and then everything looks terrible.
Yeah. Times New Roman.
Yeah.
It's just not.
It's not
not
vibe.
great. Yeah.
So did you do the artwork for your EP? Or
Yeah.
oh, nice.
Um,
Okay.
That's
yeah.
good, man.
The
I didn't know
lockdown thing. It was I basically when I finished recording it and everything, and then I kind of started to come around to the idea of actually releasing it, and I was like, okay, there needs to be something. And I've never really been like a particularly visual person when it comes to art and stuff.
Mm.
I used to like be into drawing and stuff when I was a kid, but again, I've just not really done that ever since. But to fit with two things, with saving money and also wanting to kind of make a thing that felt like it was me, I kind of wanted to do it myself. So I had like a mad panic in lockdown of just trying to find stuff that would work. I ended up going through like a really old hard drive that I found in my room that had a load of photos on it from like when I'd been on holiday or whatever. And I went interrailing when I was classic, like I went interrailing when I was 18. First year summer, you know. How it
Yeah,
is.
man. Yeah.
And I found the pictures from that, which was really cool because I hadn't seen them in ages. But they were kind of the only interesting enough photos that I had that were kind of worked as a starting point. And then I really liked the idea of, I don't know, writing the EP kind of felt like a very revealing in a way,
Mm.
and especially like writing lyrics and like songs. And I like the idea of it being like a gallery in a way. I had this weird like image in my head of it, the EP being like the art gallery of my brain. So
Yeah,
really
yeah.
pretentious, but
No, it's
so that's kind of what I had in mind when I was doing the artwork, and I like the idea of like having this photo behind it, and then I just like drew some crappy. It was basically trying to draw like an art gallery.
Right, yeah.
It kind of looks more like window. Everyone said that it's like the windows, but that's fine. I guess that makes more sense because it's like there's windows into like the backdrop, which is a picture of the outdoors, which I guess makes sense. But in my head, it was like a gallery thing, and there's these cut out squares that see through into what was behind. I can't remember why I was saying this, but that's the artwork.
Well, let's pull it up. So the
Mm.
people that are watching at home
Yeah,
are just
there
looking
it
at
is.
Sean's
Nice.
artwork.
Yeah.
So you
My drawing skills.
awesome drawing. That's good.
I like it.
So where's the pit? So where is that picture? Just behind the cardboard.
That picture
Image.
is in Slovenia at Lake Bled.
Wow.
Classic interrailing destination. Yeah, it's an amazing place.
No,
Nice.
yeah. Now that you've explained that, and I look at the artwork, I'm
Sure.
seeing it in a whole different way, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there's a little like there's crappy chairs. That
Yeah,
are
yeah.
comfortable at art galleries.
No, I like it, man.
And then the reason why I wanted that's why I was saying this. The reason why I wanted the text on it was because I imagined it being like a plaque that you have at a gallery where it kind of says what it is.
Right,
It's a
yeah,
little
yeah.
justification kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I broke my own
Nice.
rule of not having text on it. I'm not.
It works in that
Yeah.
in that
Yeah,
instance.
yeah,
it
definitely.
works
Yeah.
very well, my friend.
Thank you.
It's nice. Yeah, no, it's beautiful. For the people at home, you should go and check out Sean's new EP, To Speak.
Mhm.
It's bloody delightful. Yeah, I think that's probably a good point actually to hear some of your music, Sean.
Whoa.
So, for the people that are watching live, Sean came in earlier today and he did a little performance. Is there anything you want to tell people to prepare them for your music before we start?
I play 4 songs, I think. Into the camera, thank you, George.
The right camera.
I play 4 songs. One of them is called Adriana, which is on the EP that just came out that we just looked at the artwork of. The rest of them are new songs that I've been recording in the past few months, which will probably be out at some point. But yeah, enjoy.
Yeah, man. I hope you all enjoy it at home. I think it's going to be bloody lovely. Can we go to camera 1, please? There we go. Yeah, I hope you enjoy Sean's music. We're going to be back in about 15 minutes. We're going to be chatting some more shit, I'd imagine. So, yeah, enjoy Sean's music, and we'll be back soon. See you in a bit.
All right. Hey, I'm Sean Rogan. This song is called Actor. Adam told me I'm an artist. He believed my petty lies. 'Cause I'm a closet imposter. I made it up to pass the time. I'm an actor with no lines. I'm tired of lying all the time. I'm a Wall Street banker, but I'm broken, awful kind. No, oh. 'Cause I'm blind, ignored the signs that I'm wasting my life. And I wouldn't mind if I'd some time just to see if you're alright. So can you lie, lie? Take my fears and defeat them. Live my daydreams before I lose them. 'Cause I'm dancing in indecision. Won't someone help me see? 'Cause 'Cause I'm blind to inspiration. Won't listen out of spite. Live off only expectation, so I can lead a lonely life. 'Cause I'm blind, ignored the signs that I'm wasting my life. I know it doesn't mind if I take some time just to see if you're alright. So can you lie? I'm a lucky gambler, but I'm wasted by your side. I need a shadow to crawl inside before I prove myself alive. I'm a lover, you were never on my mind. Now it's past midnight, so to pass the time, you tell me I'm alright. Can you lie? Thank you. Just have to do a wee tuney tune. This is a song called Adriana. You can find it on an EP which is out right now. Car starting, backfiring, sound of laughing pulls my shoulders round. Car starting, was listening, I'm listing ways to turn the clouds. Stables, not the ground. They connect each other's sound. We'll never talk, but I'm feeling everything with your hands warmer now. Adriana told me how to feel ya, how our bodies counting on our laughter. Swap houses, steady acting, but you're singing like you let you down. What's that line about? Stables, not the ground. To say it only now. I'm in love and I'm feeling everything with your hands warmer now. Fortune's undeserving crown, cradled through your holy vows. Fortunately, you're around. Jealously, I won't back out. I'm holding out for unstable ground. Thank you. Here's a mini song called Rubble Street. It's usually a lot longer, but I don't have a brass section today, so here we are. Lay down Rubble Street. Whose love can call it out? Bubble up and get it out. Don't fall asleep. Get it out. Don't fall asleep. Grey now. Funny how I started out. Never saw me work it out. Stressed how? Don't you think it's funny now? Look down, eyes to the street. Can't love, aren't you looking up? Cold eyes tell me lies. What's that curling up? Can't we pick it up? Nobody's love. Turn around, roadside, what you find? Leave it out. Window up, nearly home now. Close your eyes. See me closing in. Look at all the rubble now. Good friend, bring it in. Falsify. He's probably drowning outside. Raining heavy now. You'll see me outside, out of mind, even when I lay down. Cold eyes tell me lies. What's that curling up? Can't we pick it up? Nobody's love. Turn around, roadside, what you find? Leave it out. Window up, nearly home now. Close your eyes. I have one more song. It's called Freely. I've just recorded a bunch of new songs. I've just released an EP, which is on Spotify and all the other good stuff. And I've also just recorded a second EP, which hopefully will be coming out in the not too distant future. But we'll see. Yeah, the song is called Freely. To be upon direction, confidently within description, to move freely without dilution. Ordinarily, here without discussion, rid of our digression. Saw you dancing,
falling about. I'm stood watching. There's a deafening sound. Could it be that I'm not feeling at all? Me out, steady as I move myself around freely. I'm a boulder for what I showed you. Surface covered, but I'm not shaking at all. To let go, hollow, shedding what we see. To prove wordlessly, weightlessly, I'm proud and callous when I'm losing out. How selfish when I move through the scenes. Alive are my senses. Now I'm senseless. Saw those guys on the screen, killing for what I'd have lost on the street. Wastefully. Could it be that I'm not feeling at all? Underwears me out, steady as I move myself around freely. I'm a boulder for what I showed you. Surface cover, but I'm not shaking at all. Thank you. Yeah, I've been Sean Rogan. You can
Where can we find you online, mate?
you can find me on all the social medias, apart from Bebo. But I'm on Twitter and Facebook and all those things, and you can find me on Spotify and Bandcamp if you fancy paying for things. And yeah, thank you.
All under Sean Rogan? Yeah.
What?
It's all under Sean Rogan?
All under Sean Rogan music, I think.
Alright, man. Bye. Hello, and welcome back to episode 8 of the Kicking Back podcast. You just heard some lovely music from Sean Rogan.
Beautiful.
How was your experience coming into our little studio, Sean?
Oh, it was so lovely. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming and playing. It was
Yeah.
a delight. A delight.
It's been a
to
really
see.
long time since I've had to play songs. like writing and recording is a different thing, right? So
Yeah.
I
What-
don't know, it was fun to do that.
So what was the last, before that performance, what was your last performance before that?
RecRooms.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And before that, as in doing my thing, December last, before last.
Man.
Yeah.
How many gigs have you done as Sean Rogan? The main guy.
The main man.
The alter ego.
3?
Right.
4 if you include the live stream that we did.
Right.
5 now.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
It's topping up, man.
Yeah, it's
And
weird.
with your back catalogue as well, like how many completed songs have you got which you would be like happy to perform on a set?
I don't know, maybe like 15, 20? I don't know.
Okay,
Sweet.
that's all right.
Yeah, man.
Probably more if I really tried, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 4 on that EP that just happened, and I've recorded 6 that are kind of nearly done,
Right.
and then
okay.
there's loads of other bits that kind of fell
Mhm.
through.
When's the new stuff? Well, I
I
mean,
don't know.
we've already got new stuff, but when's the even
The
newer,
newer
stuff
stuff.
coming out?
I don't know. I recorded it all last November. Me and James kind of locked down for a month and just did it and just recorded loads, and then we did some drum recording with Ollie and sent it around to people a bit, and then I just kind of slammed it with mixing for the past
Mhm.
2 months or so. I don't know.
Who knows, man?
That's the right answer.
Just
Yeah.
when it feels right,
Mm.
Yeah,
or when you can be arsed.
somewhere in the middle.
In the
Maybe
middle.
that's the same thing. I don't know.
yeah. Have
It's
you-
also like it's weird to release and then not be able to gig,
Mm.
but maybe I just
know.
have to accept that.
Yeah. Have you got are you planning on doing any videos or anything like that?
You're trying to sell to me, Brad.
I know this great videographer guy.
Yeah, we can talk about that after if you like.
No, because I know you did. I can't remember which song it was. You
Oh, sure, I
one
did
with-
little like.
I like them ones.
Oh,
So cool.
all but the newest, or 3 of the 4 songs on the EP have got like some sort of video. I did like little lyric-y video things, and then I did a kind of music video for a song called New Light, but they're very DIY.
I liked them, man. I thought they were good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Music videos are a weird thing. I'd never really done that. Or like, I don't watch music videos, but I know a lot of people do, so I
Mhm.
don't know.
It's a funny thing. I think it also depends on what kind of music you listen to. Like for example, like Bon Iver, I've never seen any of his music videos until very recently.
Sure.
When we watched them, like it was like a couple of weeks ago or something.
Well, there's all the lyric videos, right, for
There's
Yeah.
those
2 million
ones,
and the
yeah.
new ones, which are amazing.
And then there's just like the random narrative videos
Yeah.
as well. But I quite
Mm.
like them. But I guess that approach is almost just like you find an individual who is good at storytelling and say do whatever the fuck you
Yeah.
want sort of
Mm.
thing.
And I think
Um,
if I was gonna do a music video, I think that's what I want it to be. 'Cause
yeah.
I don't know. I'm a songwriter, not a visual artist. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
I trust people can do it better, like
Mhm.
you.
It's hard. It's hard to find someone though that has that ability of visual storytelling all on their own. Do you know what I mean? That's quite a difficult skill to have because obviously a lot of the time it's a collection of
Sure.
people, but to have like artistic vision in that way,
Hmm.
it's a hard thing to procure in the
It's
film
cool
world.
that like, because it can change everything. Change the world. Like it can change your perspective on the song. Or
Yeah, it does, man,
Mm.
massively.
I don't know. There's a song called by LCD Sound System called
Mm.
"Oh Baby."
I love that song.
Have you seen the music video? To that
No, I
song?
haven't.
Just
Okay.
I don't want to say anything. Just
Okay.
watch it. It'll break your heart in
Oh,
the
no.
most beautiful way. Like you'll be happy that your heart's broken, but it's
Mhm.
Okay.
but that changed that song because that's a beautiful song. I love it anyway. But I guess it kind of depends on the kind of music. But with like LCD, I don't think I tend to think about like what the song's about. I just have a good time.
It's a vibe,
Um,
isn't it?
yeah.
man?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't even know if that's what the song is about, like with what the video does, but I would assume that maybe they got someone after to do a video and they were like, this is what it is to me, or this is what it could be. And
Yeah, I love that. I love that's the bit I love about filmmaking. Is like
sure.
it's the same. It's the equivalent of songwriting, isn't it? But
Yeah.
just with it in a visual medium. Have you got the video there, George?
Oh man, don't do this to me.
Let's have a quick look. So the people at home are just having a quick look at the LCD Sound System "Oh Baby" video, and it's got some old sad people.
Oh no!
They get sad.
Don't do that. No, don't.
No.
Oh please.
You know what the danger is with old people?
They die.
Oh no.
Well, it looks beautiful. I'm not. You know, what, I'll watch it at a later point from start to finish because I don't want to ruin it for myself. But for the people at home
Ugh,
that are listening,
great.
it looks very nice.
Beautiful.
Mm.
It's a beautiful song anyway, so definitely can recommend it.
We watched a lot of Kate Bush the other night, just digging through her music videos.
man.
Are you a fan? Have you listened to much?
I am a fan, but I would also be embarrassed to say that I'm a fan. That I don't really know a lot of her music,
Mhm.
but I know that I think she's great. But
Yeah, I'd recommend just taken a nosedive. Again, a lot of obviously, you know, every artist like that, like Bowie or whoever, they all have these albums where you're going through and you're just like,
Sure,
just like,
yeah.
because like it's just new territory, isn't it? But so many beautiful tracks, man, and again, so many beautiful music videos as
Sure.
well. We were just like sat there all night, just like,
Amazing.
holy freaking, you know, just like
Which album?
So-
Give me an album.
the Kick Inside is a beautiful one. The Sensual World, I think it's called as well.
I'd just go
Really?
on, do what we did, go on YouTube and just go on like a music video playlist of hers and watch them
Cool.
all, because I'd never really listened to Kate Bush until then. I always kind of thought she was just like cheesy 80s pop artist.
Oh man,
Not that interesting.
Yeah.
I'm so wrong.
Mad I was wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah.
But the videos are absolutely like stunning. Like really just,
Mhm.
it blew me away, man. Just in terms of like the story, and I'd love to know whether she's as involved in that side of it as
Sure.
she is.
I think
like,
she was. I'm pretty sure she was
it comes across that way,
Yeah.
definitely.
Just an artist first and foremost, and she just had a vision for herself and what she
Sure.
wanted to express. And I love people who have that kind of single-minded focus.
Mhm.
You know, even when Company was in, he was talking about like apparently Beyonce is like the same, just like every side of it. Obviously, very different music, but just in terms of being focused on every aspect of it and having like this continuity behind
Mhm.
it. Because there's nothing worse than seeing something that feels like it's been pieced together
Yeah.
by people who weren't
Yeah.
like invested in the bigger picture.
Sure, yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of hard to put into words. It's more you can just get a gut instinct when you're watching certain people, can't you? It's like
yeah, yeah.
this feels forced or whatever. But yeah, Kate Bush is just amazing for that. Just
I have so much respect
Beautiful.
for that as well. Like,
mm.
I have a very creative brain, but no brain for visuals. Like, I don't know what looks good, and I just trust other people to kind of. Even when I was making the artwork for like my thing, I kind of knew kind of what I wanted it to like say, but I was trusting other people's opinions more when I was like finalizing it and picking
Mhm.
which picture and stuff. Because I don't know, that's a whole other thing, right?
Yeah, it's a whole other thing to spend your time on. Yeah, I mean that's what I'd spend my time on now. It's
Sure.
like I definitely felt like I couldn't do music and that, because it's like I felt
Do you
like
still feel that now that you can do
Um,
both?
I approach music from a more fun aspect. Not that I don't have fun with the film stuff, but
Sure.
like there's no pressure and there's no agenda or anything.
Yeah.
Whereas like in terms of working towards a goal and stuff, is definitely the video thing. It's always in my head, if you know what I mean. Like if we're watching films and stuff, I'm like, oh, that's nice. Oh, they did that well.
Sure.
But not in like a music college unhealthy, like can't
Mm.
tear away from that.
Mhm.
But picking up stuff as I'm going along.
And it's
If you want
some-
another very sad music video, have you guys seen the video for To Build a Home?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's a killer that.
That's
What-
it.
Is
what
it
classic killer?
cinematic orchestra?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't even know if I know the song, to be honest.
You'll know the
Honest.
song. It's
Do you want to
it's like
sing
their-
it to
their
us?
biggest hit.
No, I'm joking.
Which part do you want?
But yeah, it's a very sad video, but it's well done. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very simple, but filmed really nicely as well.
Mm.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, it's funny because you've been just doing like the YouTube music video playlists and stuff. I never really watched music videos,
Mm.
but it's interesting seeing them now.
It is,
Because they're all
yeah.
just like they are just little pockets of their own
Mhm.
thing, and it's like what you were saying before. Like you can get a completely different meaning from the visual thing. Do you know what's it called? Something Callahan.
Oh, Kieran J. Callahan.
Right. This is
guy.
Who is that guy?
Is it Drugs? That's what.
Yeah, like,
DRUGS.
Yeah.
I don't think I know that song.
Right. Fucking awesome music video. This was kind of the other way around though. So I saw the video. I was like, this is amazing. This is one of the best things I've ever seen. Like very funny, takes the piss.
Sure.
And then I listened to the track in the kitchen on my own, and it almost wasn't as good.
Sure.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'm
Right,
so used
without
to
the
seeing
context.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was interesting.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen that video, Sean, and anyone
I
at
will.
home, definitely.
Mm.
What's it called? Kieran J. Callahan.
No, it's SAD. And
SAD. That's
yeah,
it.
song about drugs.
Yeah.
Is
Makes sense.
it? I know.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny. I was thinking, kind of what you're saying, the opposite thing, in that it could also, if you experience the video before you hear the song, right, it changes things. But I've been watching a lot of TV recently.
Yeah.
And I don't normally do, like, I've really, since I moved out for uni, like, I don't know, I didn't have a TV for ages, and I don't know, I'm just not that bothered about it.
Yeah.
But I don't even really watch a lot of films, but then obviously in the past year I have done loads. But I've been watching this program called New Amsterdam, which my mum got me into.
All right.
Nice.
It's Amazon Prime drama.
Sounds good.
I didn't think I'd be talking about this, but everyone I've seen in the past like 2 weeks, I've spoken about this. It's just, you know, when a TV program
It
like,
gets
takes
you.
over your life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's like a hospital drama. It's kind of like a Grey's Anatomy kind of house kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional
Mm-hmm.
drama about a hospital. You know how it goes. It's
Yeah.
just it's a growing pit for emotional scenes.
Look at Scrubs. Just beautiful.
And Scrubs, right?
Yeah.
So, and they've got that formula down where you have a fun time.
Mm.
Maybe something sad happens. Maybe something sad doesn't happen. I don't know. But then they play an emotional song at the end, and boom, you're in.
They've got you.
Yeah,
That acoustic guitar comes in,
Yeah.
and you're no matter
But
what happens.
How to Save a Life.
Yeah,
Opening chord. It was like, oh, here it comes.
God's sake. So like,
That's true.
there's 2 seasons in New Amsterdam, right? And it's funny. I watched Ozark, right? That stressed me the hell out. I don't know if you've seen it, but
I've not seen it. No.
Ozark,
is
it's
it?
on Netflix. It's kind of like Breaking Bad kind of vibe. It's all about money laundering and drugs and stuff.
Okay.
But it's just, I didn't want to talk about it. It's just horrible. Everything bad that could happen happens, and then it gets worse. But it's great. Like, I was well into it. But,
Yeah.
after that finished, I was like, I need
Something light.
something nice. So anyway, I started watching New Amsterdam. But my point was that all these songs come on at the end that are like, sometimes it's ones that I know. It's like, sometimes it's like it's a Ben Howard song. Or one time, Blindsided from Forever came on, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. By season 2, maybe they're running out of good emotional songs. I don't know. But then they just come in, and it's like your classic acoustic chill playlist on Spotify, coffee break.
Yeah.
But in this context, I love these songs, and then I look at them up after. I'm like, that song was really lame.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But then suddenly there's a visual there, and literally it's just like the main character's running down a road. Nothing's happening, but that acoustic guitar comes in, and I'm like,
Yeah. What is that? Yeah,
So
I know
bored.
exactly what you mean. One is, do you know, did you watch Scrubs?
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
say- yeah. Do you know Joshua Radin's tune "Winter"?
yes,
That you know that scene. So
yes.
I think I must have been like quite a sad 15-year-old or something, because I think I ended up just like watching those scenes. I think I watched all the Scrubs, and I was like, I just want some of that, because I wanted to find the tune as well.
Heartbreaking tune.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. But the context, those guys are absolute masters of delivery, man. When they would stick that freaking sad song in, do you know what I mean?
I think that's what.
Those, like,
Yeah, because it's a sitcom, right? But
yeah,
it puts it aside from all the other sitcoms because it's
Mhm.
so emotional at the same time.
yeah,
It's great.
yeah. There it is. Oh my god, I can pretty much I know what these guys are saying.
Oh, stop it!
So
And
Oh.
Lieutenant
at home.
Dan.
yeah. Oh yeah. Is it Lieutenant Dan?
I hope I got that right.
I
Oh, wait, no, am I thinking of someone
Got the
else?
subtitles on and everything.
So
Oh,
for people
dear.
that watch at home, we're watching. People that are listening at home, we're watching. Is it from? Is it near the end of Scrubs? This one.
Oh,
Nah.
is
I
it
don't
think
quite
so.
in the middle?
Yeah,
I
it's
know
not
there
mine.
is one at the end that with
Where
a
do you think we
particular
are?
song that Barney showed me that was like
Yeah. Oh yeah, Book of Love, Peter Gabriel.
Book of Love.
Class.
But
That's
just
what it
that
was.
one, oh my god, man! I remember crying my eyes out when I watched that scene. I just
Oh,
couldn't
man.
believe it. That is a beautiful song. The string arrangement in that as well is just like ridiculous.
Masterfully
Yeah,
put together.
and the original was great. The Magnetic Fields tune
Oh, yeah.
is
Oh
awesome.
my god,
Yeah,
forget that.
Yeah, crazy man.
Hospital drama.
it's Scrubs pop.
Scrubs pop. That is it.
Yeah,
Literally. And so many shows have done the same thing. Maybe I don't know, they probably didn't invent it.
Yeah,
yeah.
that must be a
Yes.
great job to have though.
I think it's all the time. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I would love to be that guy that just gets to pick that song
The
that makes you
perf-
cry.
yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Do you think it? I feel like the kind of person you'd have to be would be sort of Matt Steele-esque kind of encyclopedia of music
Sure.
kind of dude. I feel like you have to be a very specific.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it'd be quite a stressful job. I think.
Yeah.
Desperately finding
Yeah.
heartbreaking songs.
I mean, you could write them.
You could
start,
write them.
Start plugging your own stuff in there.
That's
Maybe I
kind of the
could
role
get
of
Amazon
publishers
Prime
as
to
well,
hire me.
though, isn't it?
Is
Sure.
it?
Publishers try and push it to films and
Oh,
media
yeah.
and all that sort of stuff.
But
Yeah.
then surely there's still that dude at the end of the chain there. It's like, this will work or this won't work. You still got to have
This
that.
will make them cry.
Yeah, this will break their hearts. Yeah, that'd be an awesome job to have, man. That'd be great.
Well, if you ever make a TV show, me and Matt will write the soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be beautiful, man.
Just crying to a microphone.
Didn't you two, am I wrong in thinking you two did some little bits
we
of
did.
writing
Oh, yeah.
at one point?
Yeah, we did write some stuff, didn't we?
It's
It'd
all like
be great
guitar-y
to-
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should do it again, but
We
with some
should.
vocals. I mean, we can't right now, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Good right now, but that's not.
Yeah,
Um,
that,
yeah,
that
we
was a
used
lot
to-
of fun, man.
Yeah, I think we were both in the jazz hole for a while.
Yeah, but see that's a funny old hole, because looking back on that was just like it makes sense in terms of is trying to learn as much about music as can and just basically becoming like fascinated with it, isn't it? And just like seeing it, but as well now that I can look back, it's like it was just that I hadn't found my own voice, and I guess you probably felt the same. Like hadn't found like what you actually want to contribute
Mark,
to the world of music.
could you just sort of explain to people at home what it is in particular about jazz that why people, well, for those reasons, you know what I mean, for the technical side of stuff, like
Yeah.
just for the people
Explain
at home.
jazz.
Explain
Well,
jazz.
why
okay.
you would go down that route.
Okay,
you know
so
what I mean?
the guitar is a minefield, isn't it? It's just a crazy black hole of like there's a lot of notes, man, and you can put them together in all kinds of ways. And jazz, like in terms of it's a pretty broad genre. In terms of what I was going for, is like playing over chord changes and like trying to improvise freely over them. So you're just basically trying to play melodies that fit like moving harmony, and trying to tell some kind of story through that, which can sound beautiful when you have it down like a madman, like someone like Kurt Rosenwinkel or like Julian Lage is ridiculous. When you don't have it down, by the way, it takes freaking years of many hours every day to get it down to that kind of degree. I think it's just such a complicated genre, isn't it? Like, but the thing is, like, what I found was, as far as I took it, which just wasn't far enough, because there needs to be an extra step of like it being second nature. So when I was kind of playing it, I maybe got to the point after enough practice where I could kind of get through it, but it was always like fighting it rather than because it takes a certain amount of time just to be able to like play over chord changes and create some kind of melody over them and some kind of like sense of narrative and all that stuff and be expressive. But then to be able to kind of be like playful with it and not be like locked into it is so freaking hard, man. It's just, I think it takes a lot of hours of practice and then a lot of like just doing it, a lot of getting it wrong and trial and error, and the experience of doing it live.
Sure.
And, yeah, I think I got better at it just from doing like a ski season, where I was basically like, if the other guys got bored, they'd be like, "Let's just take a solo, just do something, you know," and doing
Playing, not skiing, right?
yeah, you don't want to see me ski. That's not great. But yeah, it's the allure of it is it can be such a beautiful thing when you like the harmonies just flying all over the shop, and you have like all this beautiful moving like counterpoint going on there, and then you can express something over the top of that. And so I really love listening to guys that do it well, but it's such a funny thing. College kind of tries to make a lot of people do that. I guess it's because it's such an obvious marker for like development as a musician, but I don't think they give people enough time. Like,
Sure.
do you know what I mean? It's quite a funny thing, like they kind of hinting that that's something to go for, but then expecting that happen for the most people probably haven't done a lot of it until they get into college, and then expecting to have it anywhere near down.
Sure.
I think it just needs like more gigging experience. And there was guys at college who could do it amazing. Yeah, and obviously there's guys who have it down, and those guys are super talented. But for the most part, it's quite a funny goal to shoot for. It takes longer, man.
Yeah.
It takes longer, doesn't it? What do you guys think?
I've noticed a lot of, well, now that people have come outside of the college, people at home, we went to the Royal Northern College of Music. People that have come out of college who used to be jazz nerds, and they've put that path aside. You know, I think there's a lot of people that have done that. So,
yeah. But it's
I'm just
useful.
wondering why
Yeah,
that is, I guess.
I saw it more as like ear training and musical training. I think in the back of my head it was always that like I understand music in a certain way, like to not feel like too like limited, I guess, in terms of just like. So I don't regret any of the time I spent learning about that stuff, because it was really, really valuable, in one sense. So yeah, it's strange. It's like on one hand I don't regret it, but also it's like all that time I spent focusing on that, and I'm sure like a lot of guys focus on that. That I could have spent that time just like playing 3 chords in Dadgad and enjoying that just as much. Or whatever. So yeah, it's the reason why you do it, isn't it? So if you love that style of music and you just want to dive head in, then absolutely go for it. But I think in my head there was probably more of a thing about trying to impress, or not necessarily impress, but like a need to keep up and to prove myself to my teachers and all the tutors at college and all the other guys. And kind of this understanding when you get to college, like it's really competitive. This is a thing that everyone's competitive in. So if you want to kind of prove yourself, you better get this stuff down. I think that's like the strange subtext. I don't know whether you guys, and again, I haven't really spoken to many people about this. That's just my gut instinct. But yeah.
About GS.
about the thing
about the
GS.
GS music. What about you, Sean?
It's funny. I was obsessed. I have a very obsessive brain. This is what I've learned, especially in the past year when I've been left to my own devices.
Yeah.
And when I get into something, that is my whole life. And then it also makes me like get into something very temporarily and then kind of move on. And I hope the songwriting thing sticks. But I was really obsessed with the like practicing guitar thing. And with that came the jazz thing. And it led to me like I was injured for like pretty much a whole year of college because I'd like just had such bad practice habits and was so obsessed with being good at guitar that I like screwed my arm up basically, and I didn't play for like 6 months. And so there's a perfect example of like I guess like taking it too far. But I think the main thing with it was I kind of miss was just improvisation and
yeah definitely.
That the thing that I was obsessed with was being able to like perform and say whatever I wanted to say on the spot all the time. And I think that's actually like quite a lot to ask of yourself.
yeah definitely.
Both like technically and like emotionally or whatever. Like to be able to get into that headspace all the time is a lot. And I have so much respect for people that can do that. And it's something that I try and kind of remember that was everything to me for a while. And when it comes to writing and recording and stuff, I try and kind of get a bit of that into I just try and remind myself that that's kind of what it was for me. And even like doing the set for you guys earlier is like I was quite careful to not like spend too long thinking about the arrangements or and trust myself in the moment in a way. So I just played the songs loads of times in different ways and then just kind of hoped that something would happen.
Yeah, so I really like that they keep the improvisation in it, because it doesn't have to mean what the like standard definition, does it? Like it can be, but yeah, I definitely like that resonated with me about you just want to be able to express yourself in whatever way without feeling like locked into anything. And
and I wonder whether my like the negative bit in my brain about that time when I was obsessed with that, I don't know if that's actually anything to do with the genre of music or just like you said, like maybe a competitive thing or the competitive thing with myself. And that the people that when you start studying music in that way, the people you're comparing yourself to are the top 0.5% in the world, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's even crazy to say that they're like the best, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So so much to ask of yourself to even be close to that.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that got me through it, or like the reason I still enjoyed it, was the fact that it was actually improvisation I was like in love with, not jazz.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, definitely, man.
And it's I don't know. It's just I don't even know if it's the fault
of jazz.
Of music. It's not jazz's fault. No. I don't know if it's the fault of music college that happens, or whether it's just something that happens when you study something that maybe shouldn't be studied. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or like,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's some of it's some of it's definitely like internal. Like you could say, I only know this for myself. Like the competitiveness is probably more with yourself than anyone else. Even
Absolutely.
though, you know, and that sort of drive. It took me ages, man. Like coming out of college, start listening to Kurt Rosenwinkel and guys like that again, and watching it, and admitting to myself it's okay to like it and not.
Jazz
and it's exactly, and it's okay to like it without having to work out everything he does and work out
Sure.
how I could do it and everything like that. It's like, no, I could just be a bias on here and just accept. Actually, it is beautiful for whatever reason. But
Like you don't listen to Bon Iver and go, oh God, I don't sound like him.
yeah, exactly, because it's just
Yeah.
you just listen and go like, damn, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I think it's just it's a prestige thing within that genre that happens, but I don't know. It's a shame really, because also a lot of the music is so beautiful.
Yeah. Have you ever seen me play jazz?
I heard you doing Cherokee at like
Cherokee.
485 BPM once.
For non-musical people,
My
out
metronome
there,
app doesn't go that fast.
Cherokee is like a super hard, like pretty quick jazz piece in basic pitch terms, and I've never played jazz that much. Basically, for my friend Barney, who's the drummer from Diamond Station, he wanted me to play this for his music recital very, very quickly, and the chords are like changing every like 2 beats or something, and it's crazy, man. And I was just like, oh god, it's just like in a horrible jazz nightmare. Honestly, it was horrible. I've always so I've never had that driving me to like pursue that side of it, even though I love like improvisation and stuff like that. I guess I always saw jazz as like it's always like the guide, isn't it? It's like it's the points you in the right direction. It says like here's the tools, here's what the shapes can look like, and here's what the colours can be. But then there's like the other 50%, which is like the kind of the oneness, the connection between this and this.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely,
like the
And that's the bit that people actually care about, right? That's
that's,
just,
that's like the genuinity, isn't it?
Mm.
That's like when you're speaking without any thought in between. It's just like pure inspiration. We'll call that. Yeah, I've always thought of jazz as like it's merely just like a textbook, or just like a
sure.
not in terms of the music, but in terms of like the working, particularly like the way you learn it and stuff. Because obviously the music itself, that's where the masters of it, that's where they put down the books and they let out the thing. But I guess sometimes people get too locked in with that other half of it, and the kind of that other half of it, the pure bit, the music of it is kind of
starts to suffer.
it's weird, man.
Yeah,
That's where I've always sort of aligned it with.
Do you ever feel that about other things though, like filmmaking or whatever?
I think it applies generally. I think I have a bit of a disagreement with how we educate people in general, and particularly in creative subjects. I've talked about this before, so I won't go into it. But I think the way that the academic style that we do it encourages unhealthy thought behaviours and stuff, and I feel people can't perform and flourish in the way that they are capable of doing. But I think that a lot of people get stunted.
Sure.
So yeah, I won't go into all that stuff right now. But I've always kind of thought jazz was kind of in that.
Sure.
Or at least the learning of it was always in that kind of area, and it sort of drove people a bit crazy.
I do wonder though if it was different and we were educated in a completely like less technical way. Would we just complain about that as well? I don't know.
I think
I don't want someone to teach me how to write
I think it's like I'm not saying like get rid of the you need that reference point, don't you? You need the arrows to point you to where it is. So like, but then it's also my issue has always been there's never been a balance of like showing people like like to still remember how to enjoy life and enjoy music and be in the moment, because obviously then that's why I lost my passion with music, and I feel like that's why a lot of people have done it. That's where I think there's an issue in the education system, is like there's not a balance of the two for people to be healthy and happy and enjoy creating. You know.
And the other thing is like getting like feedback all the time. Like, and it's like
Yeah.
Nathan talked about this last time when he was in. It's because anything that breeds like it in a way it's necessary, but anything that breeds a kind of competitive thing, like here's your number, and here's everyone else's number, and like where do you sit? That's just a strange. It is a really strange thing when you come out of it, isn't it? Because like when you're watching a performer, you listen to someone, like you don't care about that, or like you're not.
Absolutely.
So, I can imagine it takes a lot of people coming away from that just to get back into headspace of when they're performing. Like it doesn't really matter what you do as long as you're trying to connect with people.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens after that is fine, isn't it?
I think you're right.
You can do anything, man.
Yeah.
You just smash your guitar up for an hour and throw it away. That's
Phoebe
fine.
Bridgers did it live on TV the other day.
Did she?
Yeah,
No
man.
way. Phoebe Bridgers is freaking awesome.
She's awesome, man.
She did
yeah.
I think is it Saturday Night Live? I don't know. One of
Okay.
those.
Okay.
Have you not seen this? Like,
No.
on,
No.
oh. She smashed her guitar up
Let's
basically,
we'll get it up on the
It's-
old
yeah.
thing.
and so many people were raging about it on the internet, and everyone's
Really?
like,
Wait,
"Come on,
raging.
yeah,
right?
What?
like, who is this girl smashing a guitar?" And they're like, I mean, I don't even need to explain. Like, that's just yeah.
Why would people have something against that?
So many people, right? A lot of people are saying like, "Oh, you're not appreciating what you have. Like, why would you smash up this like guitar when people don't have anything?" And it's like, okay, in the grand scheme of things, a £500 guitar, they probably spent like $3,000 on like one of the cameras that are filming that guitar right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
stupid. Or like all the lighting, or like the anything that they would have
Yeah.
spent money on. Like, it's
Yeah.
all part of it.
Yeah.
Just don't whine about it. It's
Exactly.
stupid.
And it is pretty cool.
It's
as well.
really cool, man.
Shit, that's
Jimi
a lot.
Hendrix did it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I bet no one complained when he did it either.
What is it about destroying an instrument that's so like comes across as so cool?
I don't know.
It's
I
weird.
really
want to
do it.
Yeah.
like when Neil
I
Young
can't.
does it at the end of that
Yeah.
Glastonbury. Have you seen that when he closes
No.
Glastonbury from like 2010 or
It's
something?
amazing.
Awesome. He does A Day in the Life, the Beatles tune.
Oh yeah.
And he just, you have to watch it, man. Absolutely fucks the guitar up at the end.
Oh,
And it's
amazing.
just like, that's so cool.
It's- yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
If I could.
Is
yeah, I'd
The
regret
Castle Hotel, like.
this?
Yeah.
It's got to be the right
Is it
vibe,
arrogant?
though.
it.
don't know.
Yeah,
I think
that guy.
if you're feeling that in the moment, if you're just like, fuck yeah, I want to do this right now, why not? I used to do that all the time.
We've got it. There she
you
is.
go. Wow. So for
Nice.
the people listening, we're
Love
watching
it.
Phoebe Bridgers absolutely nail
Slam
a
a
guitar
guitar.
And
on
what-
Saturday Night Live.
What tune had she just done?
I think it's the last song on the new
I know
album.
it's.
I know the end.
I know the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Obvious.
yeah.
She's going at it, man. I feel sorry for the
The
speaker.
guitar's not giving up as well.
Yeah.
I would be raging right now.
Yeah, if that was your
I would be
speaker.
so angry.
Fair play, yeah. Damaging other people's gear,
Yeah.
but do what you want with your
Yeah.
own guitar.
That poor monitor. What did it ever do to her?
To be fair, it looks like a pretty sturdy monitor. Maybe they prepped
I think
for
it was taking chunks out of it. Yeah, you can see the top of it is all.
Oh, James. That's upset James,
I'm-
isn't it?
You're that guy on Twitter that everyone hates.
That's perfectly good sound equipment you're ruining there. Yeah, that's awesome though. I think that's she's a cool dude. She's a cool dude, man.
Yeah, she's kind of like taken over as well because she's got for the kind of music she does. She's got way more mainstream,
Yeah.
which I find really exciting.
I actually don't understand what's going on there, but
Yeah.
it's amazing. I'm so
yeah,
happy.
yeah,
Because she's also like a living meme at the same time,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
What do you
She's
mean
a
she's a
teacher.
living meme?
Like, follow her on Twitter. It's like,
Okay,
it's just
right.
crap all the time. It's amazing. It's like a whole band. There's this like community of like shit posting. I don't know how I want to say it. Like
Yeah.
their Instagrams are hilarious, and
Mm.
and it's all. I don't. I think it's so relatable to people of like our generation that grew up with like Tumblr and like
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, just using the internet as just this ridiculous place where
Yeah.
you can just kind of post anything and kind of accepting that it's all kind of meaningless. So
Yeah,
just-
exactly. She kind of
have
she
fun.
like because she kind of breaks all the rules about it, and she doesn't care.
Yeah.
But then she kind of does it really well. Then it just like makes a mockery of everyone that does
Yeah.
care and is trying to do it like really seriously and stuff. Because she's just there being like, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
She's like what, like fake nudes? Is that?
That was her Instagram thing for ages. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's changed now.
Fake
But
nude.
that was her like Instagram name, just fake news. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like
Nice.
it's giving your like Instagram presence the exact amount of worth that it is worth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, definitely.
It's getting a cheap laugh out of it every now
Yeah.
and then.
Mhm.
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. I've thought about it a lot recently because obviously I've had to be a little bit more aware of promoting myself, which is just a
Mhm.
weird thing to do. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel quite strongly that it's too easy to do that now. And obviously that's an amazing thing in that anyone can share what they're working on, and it opens up that world to people that probably maybe never would have thought they could do that. But it also gives people no time to be crap for a bit. Because
Yeah.
like starting your music career starts by setting up a Facebook band page, right? I don't know. Like I've done that like
Yeah.
in the past, like especially when I was like a teenager. I don't know how many bands I start. If you go on my Facebook, there's so many like pages that I own or like I'm a co-admin
Okay,
or whatever
Right.
of bands that never got past 3 posts on Facebook.
So how
And-
many of those bands would you think there are from your teenage days?
I can think of there's two pages that I'm still admin of
Okay.
that I'm too scared to delete because I'm worried that the other people in the band will be offended.
That's it.
that
Right.
never existed.
Yeah.
But then also like I don't know, it's so easy to just like record a song and put it out on Instagram or whatever, which is great because some people are doing that and it's beautiful and it's working really well. But I just think about how much time it takes to have something worth sharing, and
Yeah.
if you do that too soon, I'm worried that like it would also put people off, and that they put one song out and it wouldn't do amazingly, and then they'd be like, "Oh, I'm rubbish. Never mind, it's not
Yeah.
for me."
Yeah.
We think like how many, like even like Justin Vernon, right? He has like 3 solo albums that you can only find on YouTube that
Yeah.
probably never actually properly got. I don't really know, but
yeah.
like Forever wasn't his first album, but it
Mhm.
kind of looks like that, and that's
Yeah.
kind of cool that
Yeah.
it looks like that because it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's quality control, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope that people don't put too much pressure on that first
Mhm.
release. Well, I don't
And I totally
Yeah.
agree with you, man.
It's a journey, man.
know. Yeah.
And
That's what's important.
I had this conversation like a few months ago, because I deleted I had an Instagram account and I started posting stuff. I was like, you know what, I'm just doing this because everyone else is, and I feel like I
Sure.
should share something, but I don't feel like I've landed on whatever it is I want to share. So I'm just gonna hold off and I'm gonna work towards that. And if it doesn't happen, then I don't really care. But to me, I don't want to just be like jumping in like, hey Ed, it feels weird like, hey guys, I can play guitar really well, can I get some likes? So because people listening like, hey, thank you man, that's really nice. But to me, again, like you said, it's like you giving yourself time to develop whatever it is you're going for. I remember seeing one of your, I don't know whether it's like a first release or like a video, just like a guitar recording that you did, like just singing a tune. It might even be like Bruce Springsteen. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, Badlands, banger.
And
Yeah.
and then the next post after it was just some like piece of crap, like meaningless, like attention seeker. But like just seeing the relationship between the two of them is like,
Sure.
there's like something that has a lot of care behind it
Mhm.
and a lot of meaning behind it. And then there's just and like they're both like met with the same kind of interaction, and that I just find that really, really weird, man.
Mhm.
So there's a strange thing, and it's so useful and so helpful to a lot of people, but I also think kind of it seems to kind of get in the way of the art or the
Sure.
creation side of it. So yeah, I also don't want to come across too cynical, because obviously it is a really good thing
Yeah.
as well. But yeah.
Especially like in January this year, I kind of got well into playing guitar again. Just kind of, I don't know, I just started enjoying that. And I kind of very temporarily got into the sharing videos of me like on my story playing guitar.
Yeah.
And honestly, it took maybe 2 sessions of me practicing and then like filming a bit for that to become the purpose of my practice. And then the day after I'd go like, okay, so which bit shall I practice now that can go on Instagram? And like, and like it was that quick. It happened where I was like, cool, that's why I do this now. And then I
Yeah.
just stopped because I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, this is a waste of time.
Yeah.
And then if
definitely.
you think about what you're actually doing when you, like, I see so many of those videos and I go on Instagram and go on the stories, and half the time I'm having a poo, or like, or I'm literally watching.
Thank you for being honest, man.
Or I'm watching TV and
Yeah,
I've not
it's
got
true.
the sound on my phone, and if I can't see what's happening in the video, and I'm watching New Amsterdam at the same time, and there's an emotional banger going on in the background, I'm not going to listen to the Instagram video, and it's gone, and I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Exactly.
really important to remember that when you're posting that people might not even hear it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
Definitely.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all met in the same way,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. But then sitting down with someone's music and actually just being like a listener to it, and without trying to have too many like opinions in a way, but that just seems like the ultimate thing to aim for. And I guess Instagram helps bring people in for that.
Yeah,
So,
I would say so.
yeah.
I know what you mean. It's like, it's like I always think like we're doing this. I was like, I'm not asked if it does well or anything, but it's like building a body of work, just like something to like look at back on. I suppose if you're like more creative and like more selective with your stuff, you can kind of view it in that way rather than just be like shit posts about fucking. I just farted or whatever. I don't know what it is. The kids are,
Every Facebook status is 2009.
Yeah, exactly.
when you're a kid.
Oh, dude, it's snowing.
But I suppose you can view it in that way, and it's valuable in that way. It's in a place to like store that and be like, look, this kind of library of my stuff. But I know what you mean. Some of it's very vapid, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And you get the stuff that's vapid and just really, really boring, and then you get something that's absolutely amazing. And just the fact that it's all this sort of weird like level playing field between it. A lot of times the amazing thing hasn't really like even gone as far as well, just because the market is bored people who are literally just like taking a poo and just doing some scrolling, and as well as I always want to feel like people are giving whatever it is like the full time rather than like hearing like 3 seconds and being like cool and like moving on. It's just I hope it doesn't create this like instant fix thing where, because to me it's like it's so much better to like sit with something for a little while rather than just being, otherwise it seems like very like surface level, like, oh wow, I'm impressed with that sound. Do you know what I mean? Rather than that,
I mean, the amount of videos I like that I don't even listen to, but I go, I know that guy.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I'm just as good.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
That's with Diving Station. We had a manager for a bit, like a year ago, and the best advice I ever got from him was don't trust your friends. And that sounds really like cynical, but don't trust your friends because they're not an accurate representation of. It's nice to get feedback and like for them to say nice things, and if I guess it depends on what kind of person you are, and if you need that validation or whatever, then that's great. But like, they're never really going to be honest with you, even if you know that they would be honest with you. They're still not really honest with you, because not because they're lying, but because they can't be honest with you. Like,
definitely.
I don't know, trust yourself.
I like it, man.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. Because you don't want to hurt the.
No, exactly.
Imagine if you thought like, Sean, that was one of the worst crap shit pieces of music
You're not
I've
gonna tell me
fucking
that.
heard. If I said that to you, it'd be horrible, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It's true.
So you would say you're your best Craig, or would it be a better Craig would be some random person you don't know? It's like, that's
I
fucking
don't know,
awesome.
like, because I say that, but obviously, like, I have definitely a group of people that I know that I would send things to for feedback that would actually be helpful. But then, I don't know, maybe it just says a lot about me, but sometimes they say things and I'm like, yeah, that's right, but then I ignore it anyway because I'm like...
Yeah, but that's really cool though. Like,
there's always nuggets though, there's always little nuggets of gold.
And I think the danger is if you ask either people that don't normally like critique things or like even think about music in that way or talk about it in that way, will just say things that they think about. Like suddenly they've been asked to give feedback and they go, oh, actually maybe like, I don't know, maybe the vocals a bit loud. I don't know. But maybe vocals were always loud. I don't know. I've never really thought about it before. And they just say things and then you're like, then suddenly you've got this thing where it's like, are the vocals too loud? I don't know. And that's not useful. And actually, like, I think it's good to get other people's opinions because you can't be removed from it in the same way.
Yeah.
But I think you should really trust yourself because only, I don't know. Yeah.
Only you know what is truly meant to be.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
And those details probably don't matter.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, and they might be giving you feedback, which is going against. That would only like dilute what you're going for as well.
Yeah.
So until they can actually like hear what is you're hearing in your head or whatever, then yeah, it is funny. I don't know what you guys like at giving feedback. I try and be pretty. I always just try and be like, here's what I thought was good, and these things, like, it just felt like this should have happened or this would. But at first I used to be like so apologetic whenever I was criticizing anyone, because it's like it's a really hard thing to remove, isn't it? Because there's such a fine line between someone's personality and whatever they've created, and obviously you don't want to like. You know, you just tell someone that this thing needs changing in a bridge and they start crying. They hate you. That's just not a place you want to be. So what are you guys like with that?
I think I'm kind of the opposite.
Right.
I think I don't, because I'm so aware of when I ask someone for feedback, I do want helpful feedback because of what I just said. So like, I don't know. Sometimes I worry that I'm too mean. I don't know. We did
It's better to be honest, I think.
Yeah. We when we were in college, I was involved in this, like, I can't really remember what it was. We did some workshop at like a school, or like people that were gonna study music or something, but they were younger. I don't really know. And Andy, the course leader, took us and he said, like, okay, so remember for because they were going to perform to us and then we were going to give feedback and be like, this is what we could do better and whatever. And he was like, remember with feedback, you should give a shit sandwich. Say what was good, then say what wasn't great, and then say something that could make it better. And then you've got like two nice things, and then you say the negative thing, but it's like, we're like, cool, yeah. And then I remember we got on the bus on the way home, and Andy turned to me and he went, Sean, you didn't have any sandwiches. Oh, shit. I was like, oh, are you so mad? I was like, these guys are kids.
What did you say to them,
I don't remember. I just
being honest.
Did you slay them? Just went to town on those poor kids.
I don't think I was that mean. But
That's hilarious.
it's some kid playing like Billie Jean or something.
Right.
You're not in time.
I mean, yeah.
What was that?
So that's how I am at giving feedback.
I think it's better to be honest. It's always better if you can do it in person, because obviously there's that disconnect between typing something and someone
and
reading
email.
it in the wrong kind of way and being like taking the offence. It's always better. I used to just do like little voice memos and stuff and send it to people, because it comes. It's a little bit more human, and then you're definitely not. Someone's going to take it how
As
you
you
mean
said
it. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've given feedback on anyone's music, though, to be fair.
I'll send you some crappy songs.
Please do, man. I always find it interesting. It's nice listening to people that have been like submitting stuff in. Come on. Listen to some of that stuff. It's been interesting. Man. It's been nice to listen to some local music.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, man.
So many people have created things in the past year that never maybe wouldn't have done, including myself.
Yeah, it's great, man. There's been a good little hub of creativity. Sean, is there anyone in the local Manchester music scene that you would recommend to people at home to check out?
Oh God, pressure. I'm biased, but Anna McCluskey just released an album.
It's great, man.
It's great.
Listen.
I listened to it in the car on the way here.
Yeah.
Got the CD.
Yeah, I got that CD.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's good, man.
God, I don't know. I'm scared.
Any concerts, man?
Nathan, he was on there the other day, so maybe it's silly to
awesome.
say that, but like that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
cool,
no,
you do that
that's
now.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's
great,
crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Manchester.
Or just, local artists, anyone that you think that's worth a mention or something you've heard recently.
I'm trying to think of people that isn't just saying all my friends. That
You can say all your friends, man, because these people don't know who your friends are. So
that is true.
So just...
Do you know what? My parents do know who my friends are. Yeah, I mean, because James Davis as well has been writing songs, and there's a few that he's chucked up on Instagram. And that's an example of like where someone's done it and it's actually been great.
Yeah.
And also seemingly just kind of came out of nowhere, and it's like cool. And it's funny, like kind of back to what I was saying before about like the singing thing and the being embarrassed about songwriting and that kind of thing. And it's embarrassing for all of like 10 seconds when your mate goes, "Oh, you sing that? That's funny," and then they get over it immediately. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah, it's so true.
Everyone should do that.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. There's probably more people.
Well,
I'll let you know.
I would recommend to people at home MYTBE.
Oh yeah, that too.
The projects that you're in, Sean.
Was that the correct answer?
No, that wasn't the correct. I just thought you'd bring them up because obviously it's great. It's great music, man.
Sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
And obviously the people at home should hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Phoebe's great. I want to get her on. Is she? She's not back in Manchester at the moment, is she? Well, when
Lost
she
her to the
is,
south.
we'll
Pesky
definitely
London.
get her on.
But yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, man.
We
Yeah.
can all play.
Well, Sean, it's been a very lovely podcast.
It's been lovely.
It's been have a good time. You had a good time, Matt.
Absolutely, man.
I hope all you people at home enjoyed it as well. We are running this on a donation basis, so I'm going to get James or George to put something in the description or in the comments section, if that's possible. They're looking very panicked, but it helps us to put this stuff on, helps us to build all this and get guests in and all the costs from that. Sean, for the people at home, one more time, where can they find you online? Camera 2.
You can find my music on Spotify and Bandcamp and the other streaming ones that no one really uses. People use Apple Music, I don't know. And Instagram, I guess. There's for Facebook page, but I don't really use it very much. Sean_Rogan_ on Instagram. Twitter if you want the thoughts while I'm on the toilet. Wouldn't recommend.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, of course, people at home, subscribe to us on YouTube because we're going to be doing our live streams on YouTube from now on. So you'll get notified when that happens. Subscribe to us on all good podcast apps.
Mm-hmm.
You got your Spotify, you got your Apple Music, you've got whatever the other podcast apps are. We are on Instagram. We are posting stuff all day. We'll be posting some more of Sean's music on there, so have a look for that. We'll go on Facebook. That's our dirty plug over. Sean, if you could sum this podcast up in 3 words, what would it be?
3 words.
3 words.
Oh God, people.
I like it.
That's awesome. I like that. Matthew.
Blue Hawaii isolation.
These are really
That
creative.
tickles you.
Yeah, they're
I
very
like it.
creative. These is good. I'm gonna go with just a simple Sean is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bam. There you go.
Oh,
So
God.
thank you very much for listening, watching at home in the future. I hope you're having a good day, evening, whatever. We've had Sean Rogan on today. Please go and check out his music online. There's going to be more of that stuff coming, I'm sure.
All
Matthew
right.
Campbell, thank you for being
Thank you,
here.
Bradley.
You're a hero, as always. George and James, thank you at the back. We'll see you all next week. We have Anna McLucky on next week,
Who knew?
who is in the band with Sean. So she should check them out. So we're going to have Anna on next week. She's going to be chatting about her new album. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everyone else.
Thank you,
We'll see you
Sean.
all next week. Goodbye. Woo. Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast to catch up on new episodes every week. Also, check us out on our Facebook and Instagram at RecRooms, where you can find out about our other exciting music series. We also have this and all our other episodes of the podcast up on our RecRooms YouTube channel for your viewing pleasure. See you next time.